Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to try the new Alter Ego Sundown palette, and this is a dupe for Natasha Denona My Dream palette. You know, these palettes are usually identical, it's just that the placement of the Alter Ego eyeshadows is different. So I am going to compare some of the shimmers because no one really does shimmers like Natasha Denona. The Alter Ego are still very good, well performing, but they are not exactly the same formulas, and sometimes the colors are not identical. Mattes are pretty good, so I'm not going to be swatching the mattes, and the ultimate test will be if I put one of them on one eye and one on the other. So let's do that. So let's start with the Invention, which is this beautiful orangey color from Natasha Denona, and the equivalent, I suppose, is the Amber. Oops. So Natasha Denona feels very soft. This one feels a bit harder. So here is the Natasha Denona, and here is the Alter Ego. As you can see, the Alter Ego is not as orange. It's a bit lighter, it's a bit more peachy. So these are not identical. I love using the, is it Babies? This one, Natasha Denona. And what would be the equivalent? I think is the Afterglow. Sometimes it's hard to tell because they look different in the pan. So this is Natasha Denona Babies. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous eyeshadow, and let's try the Luster. And that's Luster. It's definitely not as intense. Still beautiful shimmer and applies gorgeously. So, but it's, let me try maybe Afterglow. No, Afterglow is, or maybe Afterglow is, actually it might be the Afterglow that is a dupe for Babies. So that's Afterglow. But yes, they are definitely not as punchy as the Natasha Denonas. They are very similar in tones. They still perform really nicely, but it doesn't look like they are as punchy as Natasha Denona's. Let me try that duochrome as well. Natasha Denona's is Vision, is the one that is sort of pink with green. And in this palette, I suppose that's, yeah, Prism. I don't know if you, it's very difficult to pick it out on camera. So this is the Natasha Denona Vision. Oh, there is the green shift from pink to green. And then Prism in the Alter Ego. Pretty similar. So this is Prism. Prism is the one at the top, Alter Ego. Wow, I'm quite surprised. This duochrome looks very, very similar, which I don't care about because you know how I feel about duochromes. Don't like them, so don't mind them, but they are not my favorite type of eyeshadow. Okay, so on Natasha Denona, I'm going to take Nurture, which is this one. And in Alter Ego, it looks like Edge. So So let's put that in my crease. I'm using Rifa 01. So Nurture. Let's do Denona on the side. And then edge on this eye. Pretty similar. Natasha Denona is a bit more pigmented. So that's Alter Ego, that's Natasha Denona. You know, when you actually comparing them, because you look so closely, you might see the difference, but we will see at the end of it, they shouldn't look much different. I'm wondering if I could have mirror this way. I just don't know which way. I don't want you to see the mirror, but it's very difficult, really. I should have it much closer, but then it's right in your face as well. On a very close inspection, the Alter Ego, I would say, is slightly bit cooler than the Natasha Denona, but it's such a minute difference. Okay, on my eyelid, I will use Spontaneous from Natasha Denona, which is this one, and Firefly from Alter Ego. Very similar. Firefly is a bit more peachy. It has a bit more peach in it than the Natasha Denona. Natasha Denona is more champagne. Spontaneous for Natasha Denona. Oh, whenever I apply Natasha Denona, shimmer is like a dream. And then I'm using the Rifa 02s, and then Firefly on the Alter Ego. It's a bit drier formula, but still really pretty shimmer. I don't think it has the same luster as Natasha Denona, but very similar. What if I wet that brush a bit? Yeah, if you wet your brush, then you get a bit more of a saturated look. But now I have to wet the brush for Natasha Denona, and that probably will be even more shiny. But they are very, very similar. Now in the outer corner, I will go into Aspirations, which is this dark brown. And in Alter Ego, that looks like Eve, this one here. So let's see these ones. I'm going to be using for this Holo P66. So Aspiration for Natasha Denona. And now Eve for, and that looks quite pigmented, for Alter Ego. Yep, very well pigmented. Let me blend it all out a bit. Okay, let's do something with the lower lash line. Reefer 03s. Okay, I am going to go to Aspiration in Natasha Denona. And if yeah, Natasha Denona definitely more pigmented. Now I'm going to take BK Beauty 207. I don't have here two of those. Maybe I will use the Sonia G Pencil Pro just to buff it out with Warmth. So let's use Warmth from Alter Ego. And what would be the equivalent? I think Carpe Diem, but this Carpe Diem seems a bit pinker than the Warmth in the Alter Ego, so these two are definitely a bit different. I might try one more. I go for Edgy from Natasha Denona, this very, very dark purple, and Twilight in this one. Let's use the other side of the P66. Okay, and then goes Natasha. It's like a dark grape color. A bit of fallout from that one. By the way, you don't get any fallout from the Alter Ego, and I think this is due to the eyeshadows being a bit stiffer, a bit not as soft and creamy, if you know what I mean. Those ones can be a bit crumbly, but I have a bit more fallout from Natasha Denona than from the Alter Ego. When I look in the mirror, I honestly, if I did it blind, not that I could, I mean with my eyes shut, I wouldn't know which is which. They look identical. Even the shimmer, there is very, very small difference when you move your face, and depends which way the light hits you. Let me just do mascara and my lips and I will be back. Okay, so that's the finished look. Honestly, I wouldn't know which is which. Let me know what you think. They look identical, to be honest. Here's a close-up. So again, this is Natasha Denona, this is Alter Ego. Maybe Natasha Denona is a bit more pigmented, but obviously I could build this up. But honestly, not much difference. Okay, so you know I love Natasha Denona palette. I don't have to keep telling you, but please don't feel that if this is not in your budget, you have to have it. The quality is amazing, the formulas are great, and there is so many different formulas, but these dupes are so good. The quality is very good. Obviously, they won't be the same formulas as Natasha Denona, but still really good. The mattes blend really nicely. They are nicely pigmented. You don't get fallout. The shimmers, some can be amazing in here and some are just good. But as you can see, when I wet my brush, I got really good payoff with that shimmer. So honestly, £20, £64. You could have 3 palettes for one of those. If that's in your budget, go for it. If not, you will be very happy with this one. As you can see, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference. If I came on camera and asked you which is which, you wouldn't know. Also, I have discounts for both of these, discount codes, so look in the description box, whichever you would like to go for. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and stay fabulous. Bye.